Liguanea Art Fair in Jamaica.
Wow. Supa.
I can't play this for save my life, but I can play something.
You can drop something because
I do
we say,
something, I do something.
hey man, listen, it's been really great to be sitting here speaking with the one and only Supa,
Hey.
the Kumana master.
Barbara Gludan says to me, she don't know why this little coolie man take up black people business on her head, because she never thought of anybody who could play kumina except for a black man. Wow. And here I am.
You know, for me personally,
Coolie.
it's like the spiritual connection.
Of course it is. Of course it
And
is.
I don't even understand how you managed to translate it.
I will make you understand it, because what took us here, think of what took us here to the Caribbean, think of what took African people, think of what took Indian people, and think of what took the white man here to the Caribbean. There's one thing take us here to the Caribbean, you know.
The warm weather.
No, it's cane.
Oh my
Sugar
God,
cane.
sugar cane.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
And the white man came here because he saw a profit from the spirit,
Okay.
which fills the Kumina man
Wow.
and fills the Indian man.
Yes.
And that white man saw a profit from it.
Super. Give us a lick.
On the drum?
What would life be if I didn't ask you?
No, I know. Well, I'll play something on the drum.
Hey! Wow.
Please.
Listen, man, I tell you, Liguanea Art Festival right here, Hope Road. You know, I was expecting to see a lot of artwork, but I tell you, I was totally taken when I saw you here. And I said to myself, wow, I've got to try and get Supa to actually just, you know, talk a little bit about the kumina, talk a little bit about the speaking drums, and, you know, basically just give us a feeling of what you've been up to of late.
Yeah. Hold on a little bit. Let's talk about what I do. And I love playing drums, as you know, but I also love making drums. And now that I've been making drums, I'm making them to the specific sound that they should be giving. So, for me, it's a total experience. It's not just sticking your head in there kind of thing and feeling it out. No, it's a life of living what I do.
Yeah, and all I know is that really, you're a master of what you do.
Well,
and it's not something that you just took up and went with.
It's
you know,
been living with me for years. Hey! No man, it's been living with me for years.
Yeah.
And I haven't got to the point where I refuse it, not just yet.
No, good to hear. The
Bamboo flute.
I know that's a recent acquisition to you.
Yeah, well, traditionally in Jamaica, the bamboo flute or the bamboo fife is something that was made for accompanying John Kuno drums.
Yes.
And John Kuno drums really are not so dissimilar from what you call revival drums.
Okay.
It's the same kind. The music is a little bit more up tempo than the revival music is. But that's what it is. The same kind of two drums together, one making a bass sound, one making a high sound, and they complement each other. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, but one thing I also...
It's fabulous, the versatility of our culture. It is very fantastic how versatile our culture is.
There is a bit of a strong connection between me and the Rasta community, actually.
Rasta community, African community, it don't matter. You're all into it.
True. Yeah. The other thing as well talk about is when you're manufacturing them, in regards, is there a ritual?
A ritual? No. Well, let's be realistic about this. Originally, when a drum was to be made, the drum maker, that is the man who carved the wood, would go to the tree and relate to the tree and give thanks for the tree and praise God for the tree and then chop down the tree and dig out a drum.
Okay.
And then you would go to the goat and say, well, goat, me and your brethren and we've lived together for so long and yet I'm going to cut your throat and somebody will eat you and I'll get the skin.
Okay.
So there's a relationship between him and the goat. And a spiritual connection, it's not just it isn't just you being the goat and me being the man, but there's a connection between the spirit of the goat and the spirit of the man.
Okay.
All right, so that's a deep spiritual connection between who is going to play the drum and where the elements of making drum come from. All right, so there's a tree related to it, there's a goat related to, and then there's your personal purification that goes into making the drum.
Excellent.
And this is where it all comes from.
Okay. Now we talked about it from a spiritual aspect in regards of the rituals in how would I say, putting the drum together.
Right, but the reality of it all is that my drums are all from recycled material, and so my making drums is a recycling project for me.
Right.
I recycle what is known as pallet board, and pallets bring so many things into Jamaica. Specifically for me, the pallet brings in paper for the printing industry,
yes,
and cardboard for the printing, so paper stock for the printing industry.
So in other words, they're not sort of like after they're finished with them, the printers are just finished.
Well, after
they're not going to recycle and sort of like just cluttering up the earth.
No, they're not going to cluttering up the earth, not at all. They're recycled for all sorts of purposes, and people use them to make houses, make furniture, whatever. I use them to make drums.
Yes.
And so I have relearned a skill called coopering, which was used to make buckets and barrels and anything round from wood before the advent of plastic. And so this is what I've learned, and this is how I can make drums.
I'll tell you the truth, Supa, you're just a wealth of information. The other thing whereby I'm going to say I have a big gap is when a collective of drummers come together and they start playing together. Is there, obviously there's got to be some kind of an idea of where you're going, but there again you have what I have noticed, remember it's only what I've noticed, there is a lead drummer and there's also a leader in regards of
who might be separate.
That is what I'm really trying to...
But you see, with every collective that comes together, there is somebody, and with every organization, any kind of system, any kind of thing that comes together, there's always somebody who has a vision of what it should be at the end of the process of putting it together and making it work. There's always somebody who has a vision of what it should be, and I suppose that's where I come in because I want the vision to be real.
Yes. The thing is that I'm really trying to grasp is that you don't really talk with each other. The drum talks. It seems you're not really filling in. No. But you're all layered.
Oh yeah.
And
layered. I like the word. But let me say this to you. There are drummers and there are drummers, eh? So you get a you get a group of people together who can really play.
What I realized is the end product.
Yeah, but
you imbue energy.
Yeah, so you get a group of people together who can really play drums.
Yes.
And you start something and it gets going. There's an energy there that is second to nothing in this world.
It's so... it's very hard for me to
explain. It is hard to say it, to define.
But there is an energy that you transmit, and it's like you electrify people.
Electrify who watches, electrify who experiences it.
And we
electrify each other, drumming.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
It's just marvelous. It is fantastic experience.
But as I said to you, I want to infuse an original state of drumming. In other words, what it used to be then has to return to us. It must change because it's a new time, it's new people.
Yes.
But some of that originality has to come back. Some of that intensity, some of that spontaneity, some of that drive, some of that bull.
Yes.
Kind of thing has to come back.
A lot of people call it the punch through.
The punch through, yeah, if you call it.
But what I'm realizing is even though you're probably got your roots, you're from the roots, and people who are not from the roots, as soon as they hear that drum, it electrifies them as well.
No, it crosses it transcends any barrier. It transcends barriers of poverty and barriers of high social order kind of thing. It does not matter where you are from. If the drums appeal to you, then it is going to kick hell in your head.
It does.
It does. I have been all over the world drumming, And everywhere I go to, I saw a man in Washington who had been shot in Vietnam. He was a Vietnam veteran. And he was confined to a wheelchair. And when we were drumming, and the drumming catch this man get up out of the wheelchair in a bridge. He had not gotten up from the wheelchair in 30 odd years. And this man get up out of the wheelchair and was dancing. And people said, Jesus Christ, a miracle kind of thing. And we thought, what, we just had drum to enjoy ourselves. But here it was, this man had gotten up out of the chair after 30 years. And he was dancing and whining and carrying on. This is what drumming does.
Super. There's so much I could talk to you about. The drums, and obviously they've all got different names.
Oh, they have all got different names. They've all got different ways of playing. They've all got different names. They all have different rhythms attached to them. They all have a culture that's individual to them.
So it's been great speaking with you. But before Supa, before we depart, because I know you've got a shop, and people can come and visit, drop in, have a chat with you,
of course,
learn more knowledge.
On a Friday afternoon, sometimes we're there having a beer and drumming like anything.
Wow.
This is when the work done and the drum them ready for play, and we're waiting on the customers to come and collect drums, and we're just jamming a little bit, and we might jam some Nyabingi, or we might jam some Kumina, or we might just jam some African music, whatever.
So the deal, like, you could just pop in.
You could just pop in if you want.
Excellent. Do you mind telling our viewers where we can?
Where you can find me? I'm at 11 North Street, which is next door to the Gleaner Company.
Okay.
And between the Gleaner Company and the old Jamintel building on North Street.
North Street, and that's in Kingston.
That's in Kingston.
Kingston 5?
No, it's Kingston. It's downtown Kingston.
Downtown Kingston.
Has no 5, 6 or nothing attached to it.
Wow. And it's a safe area from what I understand.
It is a safe area. I mean, I've been here for 15 years and I've heard shots on the street 3 times. So
there we have it.
Yeah. And on all those occasions, it had nothing to do with being endangered to you. So.
Fantastic. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Many thanks. And I hope we can drop by.
Anytime.
And just basically just talk again.
Share my experience, I share yours.
Oh, many thanks. Thank you very much.
Blessed love.
Thank you.
I've been sitting here all day wanting to play this. I just made it and I haven't played it. In order to play this, you don't need all that ugly music in the back. You need to hear it when it's being played. It's not a very loud, it's not a boisterous kind of drum. It's just nice, soft, delicate.
Try learn, you know. You try learn too. So you see.
All right.